We each have those times in our lives when we feel that something's wrong with us or something might be wrong with us. And I'm 75 now, and I can tell you that's not true. You were just figuring out what you were doing. You were just figuring out what your life path was and what you were here in the world to do, because everyone has something. And sometimes that road is really strange and difficult and challenging. And sometimes the world looks that way as well, as it has in the last bit of time. But that's because we're evolving. You're evolving, and we are each meant to do something in a particular way. Now, I say I thought something was wrong with me, and that was true for so many years. Even from the time I was born, when I came out of the womb, there was something wrong with me. And then I stumbled through so much of my life in going through difficult challenges and having illnesses and just kind of crazy things, always thinking something was wrong with me. Then I discovered that's never true. We're just finding our path, and we're each meant to do that. And my life was meant to bring something to the world that could help you know who you are and help our world become much better. And that made no sense to anyone, especially people who knew me and to myself and to my family. Even as recently as last night, they're saying, no, this doesn't make any sense. But I said, well, yeah, I discovered there's order in the universe. Nothing is happening accidentally. We just figure it out as we live, as humans. And different people come in and figure out different things, and I guess that was the path I was supposed to live, and you have one as well. And mine was to help you find yours. Because the more of us who can do that, then we live great lives and pass on to others a very different world. And so it's the 22nd of November. And so what I said is that I discovered that I downloaded the order, because there is an order. There's energy, there's time, there's movement, and things that are all connected. When we talk about the quantum field, we say things are all connected. We just figure it out because you came in with a unique DNA that gets activated, and when you decide to live it at the right time in your life, things change. Could be today or could be tomorrow. Because see, tomorrow I received the message for you that says you will be thankful for this message. That came last year. I discovered that Wilhelm started giving me messages a year in advance because it takes a while for us to catch up. Well, actually, it was years before, because we don't understand things right away. We don't accept them right away. That's just how we evolve. That's how we learn anything, individually and also collectively. And so as you look at the message, which I will give you, because it will be impossible for you to read this and to listen to the recording that's there, because I also did a channeling session on November 23rd of 2022. It will be impossible for you to read the messages, to listen to that recording, and to still believe that your life is accidental. It's not. We just take time to figure it out, and you just have to decide if you want to take that journey. And as you look at the message, I'll put a link here so you'll have it. And it goes through our human condition, basically. And so it says, today you will be thankful for this message. As you can see, it was given on November 23rd, 2024. We are speaking of a message we provided on this date a year ago, but today more of you will understand and accept it, as you are here to live a great life and manifest a new world. You are accepting more of yourself now, and we asked our messenger to record a video to explain this. As he accepts himself, you will, and you will aid others. That is evolution. We said we had given you an ascension guide, and we did so on significant galactic changes in your world, and today is the one you wanted. And so then it goes back to 2023. You will be thankful for this message, and then it talks about what they gave us years ago. And as you move through it, you will see this is going to be about you, because we all go through the same process. Everyone is waiting for you to finally own who you are, knowing you have something valuable to share with the world. Everyone is waiting for you to stop doubting yourself and your abilities and talents. Everyone is waiting for you to make sense of your past and experiences. find the value and purpose they provided you and become willing to pass them on to others. Everyone is waiting for you to let go of the self-judgment that has kept you in inertia. Everyone is waiting for you to stop allowing fear of your inner journey to prevent you from finding and owning the magnificence within you. The one who has waited the longest and most earnestly is you. And that was the message. And I received it then, but it wasn't the time because we wouldn't have understood it. But then we go back to the journey that we all moved through. But this was when this began for me, 1989. Yes, it is wise for you to recognize how powerful you are and acknowledge the innate benevolence. You seem to consistently maintain a subtle fear that you would somehow use your power in an ego-oriented way to the detriment of others. The truth for you is exactly the opposite, for the more you gain, the more you give away. The anger and sense of hostility at times, as you also have been aware of, is not truly directed at others, but merely a reflection of your inner frustration with the intellectual knowledge of your power and your simultaneous restriction of that power, which causes friction. It is everyone's power to do as they please, and your individual way is becoming clearer and more purposeful for you. Be careful of the instilled limitations that would prevent you from owning your worth. Relax and enjoy. And we all have those instilled limitations because there are people who are going to tell us we can't do it, it's not us, we don't matter. That's what we move through. And I've had so much of it. And this is what my path was supposed to be so I could give it to others so you don't move through that. The awareness of your restructuring begins. We think things are happening accidentally in the world. We start to find that they're energetic changes that we start to interpret as humans. And this was a way that I was given for more of us to understand it. And so when the world started moving in 2020, when more of us could feel that, this message, you are afraid to love. First, we are speaking to each person individually and your world collectively, primarily due to the current world conditions and the events in the United States. We have given you several messages on this subject, but we will summarize here. Love is the most powerful force that exists. It is powerful because it does not restrict its energy. It does not limit its energy and continues to expand because love is the absence of all judgment. If each of you comes to understand and accept this concept, you and your world will evolve exponentially. And we've seen a lot of judgment, and I face so much of it just continually. So it's about moving through it and understanding. And we move through an evolutionary process, and we bring all our old stuff with us from our families, from our ancestors. And so this was another one to allow us to know what was happening in our lives and in the world. Your father is quite proud of you. Masculine energy sometimes finds it challenging to be vulnerable. And we have said you are embodying your feminine nature now. In doing so, you evolve. You and your world are doing this now, and your father is proud because they could not accomplish as much as you. Why are you angry? And we saw so much anger then because it was coming from each of us, because it's unresolved issues. And it's in our collective consciousness. We led Roger to a photo this morning of the removal of a statue of one of the former presidents of the United States, as it depicted the president on a horse with subservient images beside and below him of a Native American and African American. You were taught inadequacy, and that is why you are angry. Then, again, the more you know, the less you understand. And this is always our struggle. I can receive information, but I'm going to doubt it. You will doubt yourself. That's what we do because we can't learn more or evolve in consciousness as individuals or as a society unless we have that initial doubt, and then we can come to acceptance. But what we gave Roger today, which gave him pause, was to speak again on your world's current conditions. Currently, a restructuring is occurring, and given that you collectively hold the fear of the unknown, that fear will become more significant as you are in the midst of a profound change. That you can read all of it because I'm going to leave it with you. And then understanding your past will help you accept your present. That's what we move through individually and also collectively. If we can't look at ourselves and go through that journey of saying, okay, we didn't do this quite correctly, maybe we can do something different. And that's the journey each individual will move through. I just had to do all of it. Yesterday, Roger attended a family video call with many of his relatives whom he had not seen in decades. And this talked about my outburst. We all have them. And then we have to make a new choice. And I made a new choice during that call because I said, oh, maybe people didn't understand what I knew. So I'm going to go back to bringing information teaching, which was what I was meant to do in this world. Then we think we've not gotten there or something. We always think that we missed it. That's not correct. You find yourself at the correct time. You were not meant to find yourself until now. And this was time for all of us to understand today. Then, the start of your life operating instructions. This is the work, the philosophy that I was given, and it is here. And it's for everyone to know. Infinite intelligence is available to all souls. And all one needs to do is become willing to access it. You are continually being made aware of this fact, but at certain times, you are not willing to listen. That is each of us. Then we know about the Mayan calendar and things were going to change and all of that. Well, we got some information for that too. We are the ones who were changing everything. The day is the day you decided to consciously and deliberately release your past and embrace your future. That's what we do in our lives. That's what we're meant to do in our world. And this is what Wilhelm gave us when the Mayan calendar on December thought the world was going to end. They said, no, you're building something new, and that has to come through each of us. Wait is an action word that, when used, instills the ideal of patience into your physical life experience. And patience is about an energy where we're not freaked out, where we keep going on what we're doing. Here we go. And then the intent of our philosophy is your life operating instructions is this. And this is for every single person. Your story is unique and valuable. It is unique because no other soul shares precisely your story. It holds the utmost value for you. Your story comprises everything your past holds, including everything that has occurred for you, happened to you, everything you have done, every person you have met, and every word you have spoken. All of it has been and will be perfect. Your only job, then, is to seek to know the perfection of your story. Any aspect of your particular story that you attempt to ignore, dismiss, or judge will cause you to experience some difficulty because you are refusing to receive the information and wisdom that your story holds. Now, I was holding back. I didn't get that, and I had to move through it and wait a minute, these terrible things I'm going to come to understand now. And then what it turns out to be is this, a path that for anyone to achieve success. And you can read it all here. You hear some testimonials. And then this is a video that I did last year where I was explaining it, but no one saw it because it wouldn't have made much sense then. But I was attempting then. However, when you listen to this, it will be impossible for you not to understand what's occurring and what this work is. And so you can see here there are testimonials, and you can, if those of you who are willing to wanting to come in now, you can do that. But this is what I wanted to give you because I know why you're here. I know you're here to do something wonderful, and I could have never known this unless I'd had the life that I did and experienced the healing. This work is about bringing people into alignment with who they are and also our world, because it's all happening collectively and together. We just understand it at a particular time. And this will probably be shocking for many people when you listen to it all, because you couldn't have seen it. I couldn't have seen it either, but there is an organization. And we find things in new things that are developed difficult to believe. And when I say that I downloaded the Order of the Universe, you can look at the documents, there are plenty of them that will show that. And then when I would meet someone and have a message that I was given on their birthday in 2012, people said that doesn't even make sense. When you start understanding science a little bit more, it does. Now the difference is no one has quite collected put it together this way, which made it challenging for me. But the fact is, it's healed everything, and I know what others can achieve. And that's why I'm working with people now to get them to that understanding so they can do so much more. That's what we're all meant to do. As the message says, that is evolution. So now you understand what this work is, and you have an opportunity to completely change your life, and this work will do it. You'll see. It's the ultimate guide to personal development, and it's guaranteed because I know that it works. Right. I'll see you soon.